Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
I don't care what kind of day you were having. If you came to work, you smiled when you saw Officer Holte.
We now know the name of the Grand Forks police officer killed in the line of duty Wednesday afternoon. Officer Cody Holte died from gunshot wounds after responding as backup to an apartment complex in the 1700 block of 26th Avenue South. Officers were serving eviction papers to 41-year-old Salama Pendleton and Lola Moore when officers say Pendleton opened fire. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley joins us live from the Grand Forks Police Station now, where people in the community have been honoring Officer Holte. Bailey?
Yeah, Andrea, this memorial has been growing all day. People leaving flowers, people leaving signs, not only to thank the Grand Forks Police Department, but also to pay their respects to fallen Officer Cody Holte. Now, the police chief says that Holte has been with the department for 3 years and 3 months. He was also a member of the water rescue team, as well as the Army National Guard. Now, because of all of this, Police Chief Mark Nelson says Holte was a true servant and says now that all of the adrenaline has finally worn off, today has been a truly difficult day for both him and his officers.
Was that a smile on his face? If I had to pick a word, a true servant. Served his country, served his state, served his community, asked for nothing in return, and made everybody around him a better person.
Andrea, it's really hard to listen to a police chief choked up about one of his own officers. Holte leaves behind both a wife and an infant son. Police Chief Mark Nelson asks you to keep them in your thoughts and in this incredibly difficult time. Reporting live in Grand Forks, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, Bailey, thank you for that. Police say Corporal Ron Nord with the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office was also shot and received non-life-threatening injuries to his leg and abdomen, but they say he is expected to survive. The county state's attorney says charges will be coming in the following days. Tonight, hearts are broken after hearing Cody Holte was the Grand Forks officer killed in yesterday's shooting. It happened around 2:30 in the afternoon, again at a Grand Forks apartment complex. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard went to Cody's hometown today and has his story.
Cody Holte was a father, husband, son, nephew, uncle, and a hero to those around him.
If anybody met Cody Holte, they would know, he's just one of the kindest dudes. He's always willing to help.
Tyler Coldness says Cody was ahead of the curve in sports growing up.
When I heard how he passed away, I wasn't honestly surprised because he's so noble himself. I was like, that's Cody, stepping in.
Cody went to Norman County West Elementary School in Hendrum, then Norman County High School in Halstead, Minnesota.
You wanted a friend like Cody Holte, right, in this life. You wanted your son to be like Cody Holte. I heard our old coach, our baseball coach growing up, and he said something on the lines that whenever he was expecting that he wanted to have twins so they could be like Cody and Brady.
Melissa Olson went to school with Cody's mom and dad. She told me she had the pleasure of watching Cody and his twin brother grow up. She says he was kind and respectful to everyone he met. The Halstead Living Center posted this, saying the staff, residents, and community are broken with the loss of their hometown hero. They say they're surrounding all who loved him and those who protect us with love and prayers. Many are still at a loss for words, but say they will never forget the selfless man that did such a heroic act.
Strive to be a better person like Cody Holte was. We all want a Cody Holte in our life, and everybody should strive to be like Cody Holte.
In Halstead and Hendrum, Minnesota, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
We will have more coverage tonight on Valley News Live at 6 and 10. Dozens have continued to place flowers and signs outside the Grand Forks Police Department today in honor of Cody Holte. Many of those who came out told our reporter they didn't know him, but wanted to show their support and appreciation in such a difficult time.
I guess we expect this from drug busts, not eviction notices. The whole Grand Forks everyone is saddened.
I just wanted to honor them, kind of, and felt sorry also for them.
He flew as an officer. Now he will fly and protect us all from above.
Moving on to our weather, we cooled down a bit today. The winds seem to help in that regard. Let's check out this evening's weather. Here's Hutch with your first alert forecast. Hutch?
Andrea, thanks so much. As we look off to the west from our Valley Sky Cam in Fargo, and I got to tell you, it's a little shaky out there with those gusty winds today. They continue into the evening. Look at where the cloud cover has been pretty much stapled throughout the day. The northeast quadrant of North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota, seeing those showers hit and miss really in variety. As we take a look at temperatures, mid-50s along the international border from Badette through Roseau County all the way out towards the Devil's Lake Basin and Towner County. We do have near 70-degree readings still down near the Sisseton area, but the north winds continue this evening. The gusty strength of those winds will give up the ghost just a little bit as we head into the post-sunset hours. So after about 9 o'clock, things should settle down as temperatures slip into the 50s. Grand Forks tonight, temperatures in the 50s for much of our late evening hours with winds from the north at 15 to 25 miles per hour after sunset. Some cool weather to close the work week and a chance for frost. I'll have details in a few minutes.
I thought I heard, I thought I heard the word frost. You must not be coming through correctly.
Check.
Yeah. More on that later. Thanks, Hutch. State health officials in North Dakota are now confirming 42 new cases across the state of COVID-19, along with one additional death. The latest victim was a man in his 80s from Cass County with underlying health issues. 57 deaths have been linked to the illness in the state. There have also been 42 new cases confirmed. 1,793 people have recovered, bringing the active case count to 688. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, health officials are reporting another 35 COVID-19 deaths for a total of 967 in the state. Of those deaths, 787 happened in a nursing home or long-term care facility. 493 more positive cases are being reported today, bringing the active case count to 5,325. 16,655 people are listed as recovered. A teenage boy has died after drowning in the Cheyenne River. West Fargo fire officials responded to Goldenwood Drive and 13th Avenue Northwest Wednesday evening. By the time they arrived, 14-year-old James Nyai was already pulled from the water and crews started CPR. The teenager was taken to an area hospital where he died this morning. Late this afternoon, Governor Tim Walz announced he has activated the National Guard to help protect Minnesotans after 2 days of violent protests over the death of a black man in police custody. The mayor of Minneapolis, too, is announcing efforts to restore peace and security in the city. Jeff Pagase has the latest from Minneapolis.
As fires burned in Minneapolis Thursday, the mayor called for peace while acknowledging the reasons behind the unrest.
What we've seen over the last 2 days is the result of so much built up anger and sadness.
The violence was sparked by Monday's death of George Floyd, who could be seen on video with a police officer's knee on his neck for several minutes while he struggled to breathe.
We feel as if there was a knee on all of our collective necks. A knee that says black life does not matter.
Most protesters were peaceful, but some clashed with police. Looters broke into nearby businesses and some set buildings on fire. The city's fire department says it responded to around 30 fires overnight. There are several structures that have been destroyed, not just this one that you see behind me. There are several in this area, and in fact, what we're told is that this was low-income housing that was being built. I don't know if the people who did this knew that, but that is the result of what happened overnight here. Among those demanding justice in Minneapolis Thursday, the Reverend Al Sharpton. Sharpton was joined by the family of Eric Garner, who died after a New York City police officer put him in a chokehold while arresting him in 2014.
This is just opening up an old wound, pouring salt into it.
We're going to make sure that this prosecution goes down.
The mayor has asked the governor for help and authorized a unified command structure to bring in additional resources to stop the violence. Jeff Pagase, CBS News, Minneapolis.
4 officers involved in the incident have been fired. Federal authorities are conducting a criminal investigation into Floyd's death. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi calls the death in Minnesota of George Floyd a murder broadcast on TV. Pelosi didn't respond when reporters asked if the arresting officer should be charged with murder, but she repeated her assertion that it was a murder and that self-defense wasn't involved. She also called the coronavirus-related deaths of over 100,000 Americans a scar on the nation and says a more effective response could have lowered the casualty rate.
That officer should be charged with murder if we watch the murder on TV.
Let's take our lead from them in terms of how these things are sequenced. But we did see a murder on TV, and it wasn't self-defense.
Speaker Pelosi also told reporters she has not tested positive, or rather has not been tested for coronavirus, as she hasn't had symptoms or extensive exposure to those who have tested positive, and she doesn't want to use up testing resources. Thanks to your generosity and viewership, Valley News Live is nominated for the National Broadcast Association Service to Community and America Award. It's for our campaign to promote the mission of the Golden Drive homeless kids. And through your generosity, $50,000 in funds and goods was raised to help children in our area. And the nation is taking notice. So thank you. Good news for Bison Nation, as NDSU says it's opening up athletic facilities for workouts starting next week. On June 1st, facilities will open up for voluntary Bison football workouts, and then through the month, volleyball, soccer, and basketball. Only student athletes will be allowed to use the facilities. There will be daily wellness checks. Still ahead tonight, a grim milestone for COVID deaths in America and a look at the people behind the numbers.
Blue skies to start our Thursday today. We have a few cumulus clouds of the fair weather variety pushing in this evening. I'll have details on even cooler weather for your Friday coming up right after this.